All right, we are recording so you can hear your voice. Yeah, I was thinking. Not everybody's having fun because that's what I like when people are in this room. I actually got married in this room, so it has a lot of good memories. Whoops.
The best was when he did horror films in here. I remember that.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is part 2. We're now moving on to City Council, and what I want to do is I'm going to break this into 2 parts. We have 8 of the 10 candidates here, so we'll do 4 and 4. And we're going to go in alphabetical order. Again, I would like to thank Ben Mandel and the Chronicle for partnering with us, and Trinidad Times TV. I appreciate the people that are here. I know the audience can't see the number of people that are here, but it is appreciated. And if you would, please go onto YouTube and share it, like, share, and subscribe. Tell people it's going to be on channel 71 from now until the election, which is quite a bit. And I'm going to make one little adjustment that you people won't see, but I'm going to put your name up for a couple minutes. And then I have some sponsors that I'm going to put, and I'm going to keep changing them out while you're speaking, because I got to pay for this. So you'll have your name up for 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to put the sponsors up, because if I don't, they're not going to give me the money that they promised me. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to get started. Ben, is there anything that you have to add? I think it's gone well, the first segment with the mayoral candidates. We had a little bit of a technical issue, so we adjusted, and hopefully this is all going to work out good. So we are going to start with one in alphabetical order. It's going to be Joe Venato, Sam Cooker. Did I say that right, Sam?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ryan Dornan. Where's Ryan? Ryan, I don't. Oh, there you go. Okay. I've not met you before, so I didn't know. And then Suzanne, and then we'll take about a 5-minute break. Okay. So Joe, you're up, sir. Give me a couple minutes. Come on up.
My favorite headline.
All right. I gotta find your name. Joe Venato. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. And Joe, are you ready?
Anytime you are.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the timer. And here we go. Joe, why are you running, question number 1, why are you running for city council? And what inspired you to run for city council?
Well, you might as well call me the grandfather of city council. As all of you may know, that I sat on and off for 13 years on council before I've been term limited. So I think why I'm running back for council is that it's in my blood. And I was born and raised here, and I see what Trinidad has to offer to people. And I think with my experience of 13 years, I have the knowledge to move Trinidad forward.
Okay, Joe, question number 2. What makes you feel you're the best candidate for council? What is your most valuable experience you are bringing to the table, and how will this experience benefit the city?
Well, like I said before on the first question, it takes a lot of time to sit on city council to learn what's going on in city council. When I first ran, it took me about 1.5 years to really get into the groove. I was scared to say, well, can I say this or can I do that? But after I got settled in, and I had good mayors when I was on council, great mayors that really helped me perform and do what we had to do. So running for council again is just a thing that I have in my heart, to see that this town moves in the right direction.
Okay, Joe, question number 3. How will you balance the needs of all constituents, including longtime residents, transplants, working class adults, families, ranchers, farmers, youth, and etc.?
Well, I think that question there is just based on like what the United States is. We're a melting pot. We're a melting pot. We don't have any type of discrimination or whatever, or what color, what religion, whatever you are. That's here in Trinidad. But I think we forgot a group of people that's really important to us, that other than the people that were mentioned here. We forgot about our coal miners. If it wasn't for our coal miners, years back, we wouldn't have the city that we have today. Years ago, when I was a little boy, we lived in Sopus, Colorado, which is about 5 miles here where the dam is. And all these coal camps that were around here, that's what made our city. On a Saturday morning, we'd come down, all these people from the coal camps would be in town. Everybody was busy. That was the biggest day on our calendar. So, yeah, the farmers, the ranchers, I was married to a young lady there that her father was a farmer in Moni for 62 years. So you look at that and see 62 years. Wow. So without the farmers, the ranchers, and anybody else, it's very important that we as a city try to keep them intact.
Joe, question number 4. How will you deal with inter-council conflicts, council citizen conflicts, and what does conflict resolution look like to you?
Well, like I say, as many years as I sat on council, sure, you're going to have conflicts. Conflicts, you know, when people don't agree and disagree, whatever. But that's what makes up the council. If everybody stood there and said yes to something, and that's not the popular vote, then you've got to have something different. We have to have a strong, strong council who is not afraid to speak up on anything comes up on the agenda. A strong council. You have to have a strong mayor that's going to say, yeah, we're going to do this or we're not going to do this. We have to stick together, and that's what makes this council. I believe the council that we have in the presence now is that they done a good job. I got to give them credit. A lot of things have been passed and a lot of good things have been done with this council.
Joe, question number 5. What does government transparency mean to you?
Well, you know, it's been said that I agree with a few things that were said up here about people not knowing what's going on in our town. It's true sometimes. It's true. But people have to realize there's a lot of things that go on with the city council that we have to go into executive sessions to speak about. We're talking about things, legal things that come up. We can't go out there and I can't go to PSI or whatever and say, well, this is what happened in executive session. You can't do that. But as far as other things that come up, I think the city council has to have transparency. There's things we can answer and things we can't. So we've got to just kind of better ourselves in the future.
Okay, Joe, question number 6. What are your top 3 project priorities as far as capital improvements, programming, adjusting things at City Hall, etc.?
Okay. That capital improvements. How many people have called me and told me, Joe, what are we going to do with these streets? What are we going to do? They need repaving, they need milled, they need potholes fixed. Sure, I agree. But a lot of you people don't understand. It takes a lot of money to do these projects. A lot of money. So that's why we as a council and we as a city staff have to reach out more to get grants. A grant that's going to help us. We look at our water lines. We look at our sewer lines. They're 150 years old. These things have to be addressed. We have a reserve account that the city has in place. Now, when I was on council before, I had a mayor tell me, Joe, whatever you do, don't touch that reserve account. And you know why? Because something drastic comes out in our town, a main water break, a gas line leak. Where are we going to get the money? So I don't know right now how much the city does have in that reserve fund, but I'm gonna really find out about it and keep us going.
Joe, question number 7, how do you see city council helping to secure proper funding for the city to address its infrastructure needs, programming needs, special projects, etc.?
Well, I think I just answered that. I said the grants. For several years when I was on council, we had some good grant money coming in. A lot of grant money. And still today, there is grant money out there available. But if we're not gonna go and apply for these grants, nobody's gonna come to us and say, hey, can I give you a grant? I don't think so. We, as a council, as a strong mayor, as a city staff, have to reach out to these people to get those grants and make things better.
Okay, Joe, question number 8, what do you see as the future of Trinidad's economy, and what steps would you take to move the city towards that goal during your first 4 years on council?
Well, you know, like I always said, the city of Trinidad, ever since I was on council, we always relied on one business. One business. Before, when I was on council, we wanted our mines, our coal mines. What happened? Our coal mines went down. The next business that came in was the gas wells. What happened to our gas wells? They had to pull out some of them. Number 3, our marijuana. And I think a lot of people knew where I stood on marijuana, but they made some money off it. That's true. But what happens now? Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico legalized marijuana. So right now, marijuana in the city of Trinidad, recreational marijuana, is down 43%. 43%, ladies and gentlemen. Medical marijuana is down 75%. So that's another thing we've got to work on. I'd rather see, like I say, 10 small businesses come in here and try and help.
No, I haven't held it
I'd
up
rather
yet.
see 10 small businesses come in here that employ 10 people. If something happens there, we only lose 10 jobs. We get a big company that comes in, employs 300 people, all of a sudden something goes wrong, we lose 300 jobs. We have a gold mine out here, industrial park. And I spoke about this, and the council went against me, 6-1. What was going out there, about 6-7 years ago, we had a Japanese company come to us. And what they wanted to do, they wanted land out in our industrial park. And what they wanted to do was build some big greenhouses out there where they could grow vegetables and stuff like that all winter long. But you know what happened? We didn't have the land to give them, or the water to support them, and they pulled out. Now we look at our industrial plant, our industrial park. What do you see?
Joe, I'm going to combine, with 1 minute left, I'm going to combine these 2 questions. What is your overall vision for Trinidad for the next 4 years, and what projects, accomplishments of this current council do you see as the biggest benefits to the city's development?
That's the question number 10.
Yes.
Well, like I say, after being off council for 4 years, after being terminated, I kind of relaxed on things and thought what I was going to do. And then again, like I say, it got my blood again. But this current council, and I don't care what they say, everybody has problems. No matter if you're a county commissioner, no matter if you're a city councilman, no matter what you are, you're always going to have, you can't please everybody. So I see that, like I say, I give the current council credit what they have done. And I think that council was a pretty good council.
That's it.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Do I have a few minutes on this one?
No, that was
Oh,
12. That was
come
12.
on, give me 4 minutes.
Wrap it up. I'll let you wrap it up real quick, Joe.
Okay. I just wanted to say, to have a strong city, I believe you have to have 6 things in order. Number 1, we gotta have a good city staff, which I believe we have right now. Number 2, we gotta have city employees. I always said without the city employees, you don't have a city. So take that in mind. Number 3, a strong council. I mentioned that before, a strong council that's not afraid to speak for or against anything on the agenda. A strong mayor, whoever our mayor's gonna be this year. And a full staff of police officers, firemen, EMTs, and first responders. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And Sam Coker is next. You tell me when, you ready?
No.
All right, you guys.
Let's roll.
All right. Sam, question number 1. Why are you running for city council and what inspired you to run for city council?
Well, I think it's been said true over and over again. You know, everybody in here that's come up and talked, we all have a lot of the same, you know, things that we want to accomplish. So number 1 for me is like we keep talking about infrastructure. I keep hearing about roads. What's very important to me is having sat on community boards. I've known about a water leak. The city has known about a water leak that's upriver. It's been happening for many years. Water is a very valid resource, and I want to see things like that taken care of. As it was stated before, economic development, education, and something else that really is important to me is our elderly community. I'd like to work with a group or a firm, make a safe haven so they can feel safe walking upon our streets.
Okay, Sam, question number 2. What makes you feel you're the best candidate for council? And what is your most valuable experience you're bringing to the table? How will this experience benefit the city?
Well, I came to this community back in 2002 as a contractor. I've been blessed to be able to watch the city of Trinidad grow. We watched housing developments. When I first came, the development up there on Atchison, that housing development was going. I was blessed to be a part of that. Watching Cuba Canyon go, and then we had a big crash, and the economy tanked, and things happened. You know, I'm a father, I'm a husband. I've sat on many community boards, not many, I will say 2. It's many in my book. So Board of Appeals, I sat on there for, I want to say I was on there for 3 terms. I currently sit on planning and zoning. So this community means everything to me. This is a new realm for me, so you know I'm very nervous right now. But know this, I am here for you, I will fight for you, and I'm going to stand up for the city of Trinidad.
Okay, question number 3. How will you balance the needs of all constituents, including longtime residents, transplants, working class adults, families, ranchers, farmers, youth, and etc.?
At the end of the day, we all just have to work together. It doesn't matter if you're this side, that side. We're all on a common ground here. This is about our community, about the people of the community. It's about growth. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where else to go with that.
Okay. How will you deal with inter-council conflicts, council-citizen conflicts? What does conflict resolution look like to you?
Now, this one's going to be a toughie for me. Honestly, we all just have to get along at the end of the day. it's going to take us all working together. Maybe this is going to sound kind of like something I've already said, but it's going to just be important that we can all sit down. We need to sit down at that table. We need to hash things out. Again, this is about our beautiful community. That's what it's about for me.
Question number 5. What does government transparency mean to you?
Integrity, honesty, pride. Honesty, we have to make sure it's our job. It's been said, everybody that's been up here is we're all on the same page. The general public has to understand what the city is trying to move towards. Again, thank you, Karen. You really explained some things to me tonight. Understanding that some things we cannot know or will not know until legalities have been worked out. This is something that, again, unfamiliar with for me. It's something that I'm excited and really want to learn on. I want to grow on. I've grown with this city, and I'm excited for this venture. Question number 6, what are your top 3 project priorities? Capital improvements, programming, adjusting things at City Hall, etc. Well, I think, again, I've heard Joe talk about it. This was something I had written down when I first walked in here. And, our grants to me are everything. I'm not quite sure, because I've really never asked the question, do we have certain individuals that write grants, or do we have departments that write grants? I'm going to get stuck because I just lost my place. My apologies. When I think about these things, I hate to sound like I'm harping on the same old thing, but that water really bothers me. It has since the first time I heard about it. It just really, truly bothers me. That is a very natural resource that that we thrive on here in Trinidad, or anywhere that can be safe.
Okay. Moving forward, number 7, how do you see City Council helping secure proper funding for the city to address its infrastructure needs, programming needs, and special project needs, etc.?
See, I just jumped. Yeah. I pretty much answered that. I kind of went all over the place, and I apologize for that.
That's okay. We'll move forward. What do you see as the future of Trinidad's economy, and what steps would you take to move the city towards that goal during your first 4 years in council?
I'm reading this over again, just so I can. Okay, so as a small business owner, I've grown up here, for 22 years I have grown up here. What I love about this place, it is the small business. It is my belief, because I hear, people, the chatter out in town about the state park and how we need to bring, kind of revitalize that, make things happen. But I still feel that when these people come in, we don't have enough places that are open to eat. We have an awkward time. I really feel in my heart that we need some commercialization. And I'm not one to say that I'm here to hurt the mom and pop shop, because I'm one of those companies myself. But we have to bring bigger business here. We truly do. There was talk of we don't want to. I'd rather see 10 people lose a job than 300 people lose a job. If we have the right economic development person that's going to fight to bring the right companies here, I feel like they will sustain and grow and help make Trinidad a better place.
Okay. Sam, and question number 9, what is your overall vision for Trinidad for the next 4 years?
Something that means the world to me. So I think it was Jay Gonzalez said it back in 2019 in Meet the Candidates. And I've thought this for many, many years. I've worked with the city, I've worked with the county. the city and the county, in my eyes, seem to have butt heads for many years. And I want to see a common ground where we can work together. At the end of the day, we're just a few blocks apart. And we all support and we have the same wants and we have the same needs. It's just, we got to find a way to work together to, bring out the greater good for Trinidad, for Los Angeles County. Yeah, that's very important to me.
Okay, last question. What projects / accomplishments of this current council do you see as the biggest benefits to the city's developments?
Well, maybe I read this wrong, and that's what I did. But when I see things like what projects, accomplishments, I want to say Space to Create was big for the city. The city was a part of that. The Fox West Theater is big. They're a part of that. The state park is another grand, deal that is going to benefit this town for years to come. I don't want to see what we've worked for. I mean, 'cause when I see Space to Create, and I only see truly two artist shops in that building, I kind of have a problem with that. If we're gonna drive and call this Space to Create, well then let's make it more grand than what it is. We do have a lot of artists here. The ROK was a major deal, very important to me. I want to see that continue. It brought revenue. At the end of the day, that's what we need is revenue, and I want to continue to see. I want to see Space to Create not just become a food joint. I want to see it. I want our artists to be there to grow.
Okay, Sam, you have 1:37. It's your time.
Well, I did better than I thought I was doing. I got to tell you all that. I'm going to sound like that beating that dead horse kind of thing, but what I stand for in this town and the things that I want to help contribute to. I'm not going to call myself a game changer, but I want to be there to listen to the community, and help city council make good decisions, be transparent out there. Again, I have a 7-year-old. Yes, I do. And I want to make sure that he has a safe haven to continue to grow up in. That's all I got, folks. I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, everybody. I hope y'all have it.
All right. Thanks, sir. And Ryan Dornan. Let me find. Ryan, hang on one second. Here you are. There's your name. Okay. Ryan, you give me the thumbs up and I will start your clock. Okay, here we go. Ryan, question number 1. Why are you running for city council? What inspired you to run for city council?
My inspiration for candidacy comes from my years of being here in the community and serving it through my businesses and more recently being the educational technology specialist at the school district. I think that Trinidad has an enormous untapped potential all over the place, be it education or economy or civic engagement. And my goal is to bridge the technological gaps and improve what communication infrastructure I can, and foster a sense of community that goes beyond the traditional meetings that we do. I'm running because I believe in transparency and technology, and I think Trinidad has potential to be a model city in those things.
Okay. Question number 2, what makes you feel you're the best candidate for council? What is your most valuable experience you're bringing to the table, and how will this experience benefit the city?
Okay. I believe my blend of experiences in business and technology and education uniquely qualifies me for this role. As a business owner, I understand the importance of fiscal responsibility and the challenges that our local businesses face every year. As an educational specialist, I've seen firsthand the transformative power of technology in empowering our youth and our educators to that point. And I can bring these diverse and complementary skills to city council, and I think that having these new tools might help problem solving, not just on the council, but in the community.
Okay, question number 3. How will you balance the needs of all constituents, including longtime residents, transplants, working class adults, families, ranchers, farmers, youth, etc.?
How will I balance the needs of all constituents? I think that technology can be the great equalizer here. I think that it's a challenging task, but also very essential. I think that online platforms might be the answer to real-time communication between constituents and council members. It would allow us to gather input from various groups, like the et cetera, massive et cetera in this list. Apps could be used to develop local services and digital job boards. I think that by embracing technology, we can make governance more inclusive and equitable and responsive to everyone's needs.
Okay. Question number 4. How will you deal with inter-council conflicts, council citizen conflicts, and what does conflict resolution look like to you?
I haven't been part of this team before. I hope to get the opportunity, but I do hear that it has a need for conflict resolution. City Council specifically is a microcosm of our very diverse community. And the conflicts are inevitable. I think that keeping an open mind and listening, and as other candidates have said, finding that common ground or the compromise that works for everyone. I think that again, technology can aid this with helping transparent discussions and getting more input. I know that in the past the City Council has relied heavily on themselves and their separate meetings, and I think that having everyone do the job of providing input might benefit City Council in making those decisions easier. I think that finding a common ground is what would serve Trinidad best.
Okay. Question number 5. What does government transparency mean to you?
So I think it's a governing philosophy. It's not just something we just decide, but we have to live that way. It means that making every council decision or every dollar spent visible to our citizens. I think that implementing like an open data portal that other municipalities already have and use would provide easy access to like statistics and like budgets, voting records, and put that directly in the hands of every citizen here, and create a much more direct democracy that way. I think that it means not having as many technical issues. I've noticed the last few city hall meetings haven't been live streamed, or I wasn't able to find them. And when I have showed up to them, lots of the technology isn't turned on, so the audience can't actually see or participate often. And I think that turning the technology a little bit, bringing it to next week, as another candidate said, with creating more transparency.
Okay, Ryan, number 6, what are your top 3 project priorities? Capital improvements, programming, adjusting things at City Hall, etc.
So my top 3 priorities are transparency, and technology, and community. I think that developing that comprehensive open data portal would help citizens access information about government activities and budgets and decision making. And then, as someone with a background in educational technology, I see a need to work with the school district, or the board rather, to increase opportunity in our community. I think that it's like specifically the school district is catching up on technology, and now we just need the opportunity. Third, I propose that investing in outdoor recreational infrastructure, continuing to invest in outdoor recreational infrastructure, is extremely important to Trinidad as a model city. I think it's something we all enjoy, and it improves our quality of life and attracts tourists to the city.
So question number 7, how do you see City Council helping to secure proper funding for the city to address its infrastructure needs, programming needs, and special project needs, etc.?
Funding is crucial, and I believe in taking a diversified approach. I think that actively seeking federal grant money, other grant money, is a great first step, and I already do that. I'm on the board of 2 nonprofits, one of which just gets grants, and so I've written computer programs that find grants and other computer programs that write grants. So I can actively participate in that, but I think that, again, it's something we can all do and not just a few people on council. Public-private partnerships can also provide a valuable resource. I think that the businesses in our community have a vested interest in it thriving. And I think, of course, working with the council as part of a team and and all the constituents to identify potential tax initiatives. And I know nobody likes to hear that word, but that are clearly earmarked for specific community-approved projects that we've gotten community input on for things like that. I think through these avenues we can ensure that our projects are finished, which is something else I've noticed in the past. Things get drawn out or not completed often. I'd like to finish things and have the community behind that. Like, hey, where is it? Let's finish it. What needs to be done? What's next? And I think that having the financial backing, wherever that is coming from, is extremely important to Trinidad's long-term goals.
Okay, so with 2 minutes and 40 some seconds, I'm going to combine these 2 questions. 8 and 9, what do you see as the future of Trinidad's economy, and what steps would you take to move the city towards that goal during your first 4 years? And what is your overall vision for Trinidad for the next 4 years?
Okay, I'll try to be quick. The future of Trinidad's economy, I think, leverages natural resources and community. I think that Trinidad becoming a destination for outdoor enthusiasts through continuing investments in hiking and ecotourism is definitely the way to go. On the business side, I propose creating tech incubators and co-working spaces, on a smaller scale to help attract new businesses. I think in the mid-scale, we could create initiatives to attract mid-sized businesses, 30 to 100 employees, something like that, and help stabilize the year-round economy. And then also attracting several larger businesses. I know people said like the mine, and I think having 1 or 2 of those larger businesses that employ 100 people, hundreds of people, is also very important to that approach of hitting everything multifaceted. I think partnering more with high-speed internet providers like CCOM or our municipality can help create those tech initiatives that keep them sustainable, really. And perhaps attracting training centers would make us more competitive in the local area. I think outdoor recreation and tech-friendly policies can drive sustainable growth to the city. As for the next 4 years, my vision is to make Trinidad a model city. I love Trinidad. I moved here when I bought the Morley property. I've since sold it, but have dropped roots, opened up a couple businesses, and I'm on the board of some nonprofits. And I think that making Trinidad that model city is my number one goal. I want to try to bring the community into the 21st century. That's up there. Through smart investments in technology and still preserving the natural beauty and character that makes Trinidad unique. I think we can build a sustainable, inclusive, and prosperous future for all of our residents through technology and community building.
And
did you have one more question?
Last question, and just if you could wrap it up, we'll give you a little bit more time. What projects, accomplishments of this current council do you see as being the biggest benefits to the city's development?
The current council has made commendable strides in infrastructure development, which provides a solid foundation for future growth. As part of the team, I hope to continue building on. I would like to incorporate more community input through technology to make governance more effective and transparent. And whether it's done through digitizing services or promoting community-based projects, I see a potential in merging the best of what has already been done with a fresh, forward new use.
And
Go ahead.
just last few thoughts. We're past time.
The last few thoughts. I just want to reiterate that Trinidad is more than just a place on the map. There's a home for all of us. And I'm deeply committed to bringing transparency to the community. I'd like to leverage technology, which is something that we desperately need. And I'd like to continue to foster a sense of community that we can all be proud of. I have a lot of experience, but it's all very different than the other candidates, and maybe not as much as them. But I think that having a fresh perspective on the team would be what Trinidad needs. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last candidate in this segment will be Suzanne.
I love that I'm like Cher. I don't have a last name in this.
I am fudging a little bit on the time with people. I'm trying not to just cut anybody off hard-wise time. But everybody has been pretty accommodating so far. I think we're working it pretty good. So, are you ready?
Let's party.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1: why are you running for city council? What inspired you to run for city council?
First off, I'm terrified. You guys have all done such a wonderful job speaking, but I just need to get that off my chest. But no, I'm not terrified to run for council. It's just public speaking, But so I moved to Trinidad because I fell in love with it after passing through for years. My husband and I relocated here from Denver. We're small business owners. I've owned businesses for about 20 years now. I'm the mother of an 8-year-old child. I've invested in properties in town, and my business is here, my livelihood is here. So I would say, running for council, I want to see this place survive. I want to see this place more than survive, but thrive. I think it's in all of our best interest to move towards the future that is like bright and bold and put Trinidad in its very best light.
Okay, question number 2: what makes you feel you're the best candidate for council? What is your most valuable experience you're bringing to the table? How will this experience benefit the city?
I'm a people person. I can work with anyone. I can talk with anyone. I know so many of you in the room, and I would hope that you would think that that is a truth. I am out in the community speaking with people all of the time. I'm on the board for the Fox West Theater. I'm the co-chair, and I think that's an incredibly important project that we're working towards revitalizing. I'm on the board for the farmers market. We brought back the farmers market. I have my, little bits of experience in all kinds of pockets, and I think I can bring to the table just a rich history of relationships. And I, as a business owner, I know how important it is to talk with people and listen to people and truly take into account what they need and require from you. And I think I can bring that to City Council.
Okay, question number 3: how will you balance the needs of all constituents, including longtime residents, transplants, working class adults, families, ranchers, farmers, youth, and etc.?
We will all benefit from a healthy economic plan, which I think sustainably has to be focused on outdoor recreation, arts and entertainment, tourism. And so really, I don't want to sound tacky, but Trinidad, we need money, we need jobs, and we need to foster an economy that's going to help us like grow and sustain, and all of that money we can pull in from tourism. I mean, we need jobs. I've heard it all from you guys, and accurate. We need businesses that employ people beyond the service industry and tourism economy. But when we're bringing in money from tourism, that's what's going to be there to fix our roads, to fix our parks, to really work with this infrastructure in a long-term way. So money, let's get it.
Question number 4, how will you deal with inter-council conflicts, council citizen conflicts, and what does conflict resolution look like to you?
I think it's important to truly listen with anyone you're working with, and that includes people in the community and people in the government, that's staff and council people. So I think stepping back, separating the ego from the situation, and really like trying to understand why there is the conflict there in the first place. They're going to arise naturally, of course. I always like to remind myself that we're all in this for a better, brighter future. We just might have different ideas about how we're going to get there.
What does government, number 5, what does government transparency mean to you?
Oh, man, I love the idea of updating our technology, because I think that it's not so much that there's a lack of transparency. I go to council meetings. I think that it's wonderful that it's all public. You can go, you can sit, you can learn. It's more communication that we're lacking and the access to the information. Like the city website, it's so hard to find. Like I try to go back and just dig something out here and there for my own uses, and it's hard to navigate. And so I think people would feel much more comfortable and that their government was transparent if we did modernize like our whole tech platform. And just little things even. Why don't we have an active Instagram? That appeals to a younger generation than Facebook does. Why don't we have a Twitter? When the whole Square processing system was out 2 days ago and all the businesses were struggling and couldn't take credit cards, why didn't we have a city official posting about that through Twitter or through whatever resources to tell people to grab cash before you go so people didn't lose out on that money? It's a small business. It's margins are thin. We need every customer we can get.
Question number 6, what are your top 3 project priorities? Capital improvements, programming, adjusting things at City Hall, etc.
Tourism, especially outdoor recreation, is my number 1 priority, and I think it should be the focus of all. And then with that being said, we need a unified city marketing plan. We need to be part of the conversation on the state level, and that means branding, marketing, reaching out to the state, to the region, and nationally about who we are, what's so special here, and why people should visit. And if people are like me, they're going to visit, they're going to fall in love, they're going to move here, move their families here, and make it like a better community for all. So I would say that's my second. I am a small business owner, as I probably have said over and over because I'm nervous. But anyway, so shopping local. So we need to promote our small businesses outside of town, but also within town. As I'm out talking with people or I'm at work, I don't know how many times that I have heard that something about like Curly's, I'll be like, oh, you haven't been to Curly's? Yeah, they've got great stuff there. And they're like, oh, what's that? I'm like, it's only been like 20 some years, right? Like, how do we not know about these places? When people are like, Bella Luna, never heard of it. I'm like, you've lived here for like 5 years. We need to be promoting business from the government platform within the city itself.
Okay. Number 7, how do you see City Council helping secure proper funding for the city to address its infrastructure needs, programming needs, special project needs, etc.?
As so many people have said before, we need to be accepting money and grants to the ability we can from the outside, but also attracting funding and funds off the highway. We have a gold mine right here. If we have a uniform marketing plan, we need people off of the highway to know how special it is to come downtown, to not just hit the McDonald's and the gas station and then get back on the road. We have a gold mine also with highway and then the Hilton. Sigh, way to go. But so we've got the Hilton here, so we want people to come to town, not just to pass through, not just to like use a bathroom break, but the city as a whole needs to be marketing ourselves as a place to come and stay and shop and eat and support the businesses.
Okay. And as I did with the last candidate, I'm going to combine these two, 8 and 9. What do you see as the future of Trinidad's economy, and what steps would you take to move the city towards that goal during your first 4 years in council? What is your overall vision for Trinidad for the next 4 years?
I want to walk downtown and see every business have people going in and out of it. I want to see outdoor dining with patios full and people really enjoying this place. This is not a hard sell. Look around, every day it like takes my breath away that I get to live here and that this architecture is like still here. There are places like this left. This is like just such a diamond that we're all like getting to be part of. I want to see that more business moves here so it can support those tourists we're bringing in and for long-term residents, new and old. And I want people to be able to thrive and not feel like they're scraping by just to try to make it. I think that we have the potential to grow our economy in a way that like supports so much more than we have now.
Okay, and the last question, what projects, accomplishments of this current council do you see as being the biggest benefits to the city's development?
Fisher's Peak State Park that's our Eiffel Tower. Just that they were able to do that, and with the new acquired land over at the Trinidad Lake State Park, I think that the push is already there and we need to continue pushing for it. I think council has done a great job with that. There are obviously, there are complaints around town. There's a lot of projects that need to get done, but I know that like the city workers are working hard towards that. We need to support them by funding the projects and funding more workers and having people be able to make a living while they're improving this place. But I think really the park is great, Space to Create's great. I was on the board for a couple of years for the Creative District with Space to Create, and I'm very proud of like what little that I contributed, but that I got to be part of that. And then the Fox Theater is really moving forward in a way that's super cool. My husband and I are co-chairs, and we're like very proud of that project. I can't wait for that city project to come to fruition, for people to go in and enjoy it, and to bring people to town.
Okay, you have 2.5 minutes and you can't get down off the podium unless you use it all.
Oh, no. Oh, man, let's see, what else have I? So, as some people talked about earlier, and I meant to touch on, like we are an aging community. The average age for Trinidad citizen is 62, and I don't think we're getting much younger at this point, day by day, all of us. But, so we need to, as we're growing and building and fixing the roads and building the infrastructure, keep in mind that the population here is going to have needs as they move forward and as anyone does. So really a focus on ADA compliance stuff along with like support systems for our long-term care facilities, for the hospital, for people not having to drive out of town, should always be in like the forefront of decision making. I didn't mention, I'm a gerontologist, it's my education background, so that's aging, maturity to death. So that's always been very important to me, and I think from that perspective I could also be a good voice on council. I keep describing council, people are asking why I'm running, and I'm like, I don't know, God help me. No, no, I think I can be a valuable voice in the room. It's just one voice that's part of the conversation, and a diverse council that represents so many different people in Trinidad and that they all feel like they're being heard is so important as we move forward. The time is kind of now to take the reins and let's make sure we create the community that we all like deserve.
1 minute if you want to use it.
Questions?
we can't do that. We haven't done that for anybody else. So. All right.
I hope that like I've expressed myself well, but really my intentions are clear. I want this to be a good place for all of us to live in, and I want my daughter to grow up in this town. We picked it because we love it. My parents moved here after we did, right over there. My in-laws have moved here part-time as well. Like that's how much faith I have in this place as my home, long-term community, that this is where I want to be forever, and I want to make sure that like we're on the right track as we keep moving forward as Trinidadians.
Okay, 20 seconds, but we'll let you slide.
Wait, one more thing, sorry. So as far as like attracting arts and entertainment tourism, I do think that, as we all know, we lost 2 really big events that like are hurting our businesses, and they're not going to be here anymore with Artcade and with the Blues Fest. I think as a city person that comes from a background in entertainment, that I would like love to push for more sponsored city events in town to have, like just get people in here, do a big music festival, maybe bring back some semblance of like an art car culture. That was a heartbreaker for a lot of us, So I think I would really just say that we can push forward, and events, entertainment, outdoor rec it's our way to go.
5 minutes this time. Let me reset my equipment and we'll have the last 4 candidates. Guys, this is going well. Thank you. 5 minutes.
Did it.